Simon, welcome. Bem-vindo. I'm
Obrigado.
really happy to have you here today to share your journey about like stuttering and your singing career. There is a lot to talk about, so
Yeah.
I'm really excited. Thank you so much. Uh,
Obrigado.
could you please start introducing yourself briefly, like who you are and also what to do, please?
Uh, okay. Yeah, my name is Simon. I was born in Sweden and my parents is from Angola. Uh, I am a artist and a songwriter. Mm, and I have a stutter. Um, Only when I speak, but not when I sing or rap. So yeah, I'm a artist and a songwriter.
That's super cool. Like, I am really curious because singing requires being on stage, requires speaking and communication. I will get to that part too, but I would like
Yeah.
to start earlier on because I read an article where you say that you started stuttering at the age of 8. And
Yeah.
I wonder, did something specifically happen to you at the age of 8 that triggered, that affected how you talk, or it was just something like something that happened from one day to another and you don't really remember if something happened?
Mm.
And in which ways did stuttering impact your life?
Yeah, I remember that I started stuttering when I was around 8 years old, and I remember that in school when I remember that when I had a presentation in the class, it was difficult for me to speak in front of it, but in front of the class, and I could hear myself stuttering on the words and on the topic that I was gonna speak about in front of the class. So that is the part that I remember. That is also where my stuttering started to evolve. Mm, so in school, it was difficult for me. And I think more on something more, yeah, like having a presentation in front of the class, it was difficult for me. And instead of having, I, I, I remember that I was asking the teacher if I could record a video when I talk about this topic, and then I can show the video in front of the class. Uh, and I remember that I was doing that. Mm, and I remember that I was doing that, not always, but sometimes.
And the teacher was fine with that, or did the teacher ask you questions on why you were asking that? How did it go?
Some of the teacher was fine with that, but not all the teachers. And the teachers that say no, I was like, okay, then I can do this presentation in front of the class. And I could remember that people, and I could remember that people was laughing in the background when I was talking about the topic. And I think that is something that has affected me, uh, and yeah, from that day, from that moment, I remember that like people was laughing in the classroom when I had a presentation, or when the teacher told me that, or when we had this moment in the classroom that we need to read in front of everybody. uh, when we was gonna read about something, and then the teacher told me, now Simon, it's your turn. So also when I was reading in the class, people was laughing, and I couldn't, yeah, because of my stutter. Like it was difficult to reading or having a presentation in the classroom. So so that is something start to yeah, that is something that has affected me mm, when I was younger.
I can imagine because indeed, the feeling of having to do like to expose your stutter, it's can be very uncomfortable and very embarrassing, especially if you feel people are laughing, and
Mm,
it's really not an easy situation, especially when you're very young. I'm really
mm.
sorry that you actually went through all of these experiences because it's really tough.
And I also remember that I remember that in school, and we was gonna have this big presentation. Like I remember that I didn't want to do the presentation, so I like I remember that day before I was like telling the school that I cannot come to school because I'm sick or something, but I wasn't sick. Like I didn't want to do the presentation because of my stuttering. And I remember that also. And but it shouldn't be like that way. But I was young and I remember some of the presentation, the biggest presentation, I was like, I cannot do this. So I remember that I was like calling the school the day before. I told them, yeah, I don't feel good. I cannot come to school on Monday or Tuesday, something like that.
And how did you
Yeah,
manage to do like, did you do another type of like presentation later because you still had to do the assignment? So how did that happen?
I remember that when I told them uh, that I couldn't be there on Monday, then they told me, okay, you can do another way to make a presentation about this topic. Maybe you can, yeah, like I told you before, like coding a video when you talk about the topic. And not, and also remember that even when I did the video, it took time. I was taking many takes uh, because I remember that when I had this topic and I was gonna talk about it, um, and I was trying to do the best video without hearing my stuttering. So I was like recording many videos, many wheel. I was like video number one, I was stuttering a lot. Number two, yeah. Number three, number four, number five. Then I was like number eight. Okay, there. This can I show to the class? But um, and I remember that one day when I was showing this video to the class, uh, and they could hear my stuttering in his video. And after the video was done, they was asking me questions. They was like, okay, so it's it was like I remember this question that they was asking me like how many takes how many videos did you record? I was like around 15 videos, something like that. He was like so many. Like what? Why? I was like yeah. I was like trying to get the best video and talk about the topic without without the stuttering. Um, and I remember that um, I was doing that in a while, like coding videos and showing in the class. So that was a way for me to like to show the class the topic that I want to through video. Yeah.
Yeah. Wow, that can be really, really tough. And the lack of awareness from students and from the teachers can play a big role in how we also feel in the classroom. So I'm
Mm.
sorry that you had to go through it. But talking about something a little bit more joyful, let's say.
Yeah, let's do.
Let's go back to your music. On stage, communication is everything, right? Uh,
Mm.
how does, like, what does connection with the audience mean to you personally? How do you see that? Because you're singing, you probably say a few words before you start singing, or maybe after you sing. How do you connect with people through your communication?
It's because I started with my music around 2011 with my friends. It was me and three more friends, and we had this boy band. But but when we were standing on the stage, they were speaking, but I didn't speak. I was like, uh, they was they was speaking with the audience. They was like, okay, speaking with them, and then they told the DJ to play the music, and then we was like singing together. But I watched them, and I was like, yeah, but one day I can also speak with the audience. Uh, so I started with my solo career around 2016, and I remember that when I had my first performance as a solo artist, I was going to the stage and I was talking with the audience. I was like, uh, and I was like making a connection with the audience, and I was like, I always tell the audience like, uh, when I say singer, you say boy, singer, oi, singer, oi. Then people be like, oh, okay, okay, singer boy. Then I tell the DJ to play the music and then just dancing and singing with the audience. And I've been doing that like I've been doing that since 2016. So it's like when I'm standing on the stage, it's like my second home. Uh, and like I'm becoming another person on the stage. Uh, like I have the confidence to standing on the stage and making a connection with the audience and singing with them and yeah.
Actually, that's a really, really good point because often we see that when we are feeling more confident, we tend to stutter less. Do you think that's true?
I really believe that like if you are working on your confidence, uh, then I believe that you're gonna stuttering less. And like me, like if I'm I'm work on my confidence by doing um, affirmations, um, affirmations about my self-image, and also I using I don't know if you know about visualizing your goals, like you're closing your eyes and seeing yourself, seeing your higher self, like you closing your eyes, visualizing and see yourself like speaking with many people, like you speaking in English or Portuguese or and I've been doing that thing many years. Like I close my eyes and seeing myself standing on stage, talking with the audience, and also seeing myself talk and also seeing myself uh, talking with many people. And I think that is a tool that works for me. And I believe that it has and I believe that has affected my confidence in a positive way.
That's interesting. Yeah. I mean, I have heard and read about how when we visualize what we want to happen, it can help a lot to bring more self-confidence and to believe that it's gonna happen like that, you know? So that's really, really cool.
Mm.
And
Yeah.
yeah. And I want to bring back to your breakthrough on Sweden's Got Talent, which put
Mm.
you in front of a massive audience. What was going through your mind before and while you were on stage performing?
Uh, yeah, it was a amazing moment, and I remember that uh, Kenny. I remember that 1 year be before my audition, I was sending in my application to the uh, to the talent show on TV4. I was like 1 year before my audition. There was searching for artists and musicians, and I was like, why not? I mean, okay, I have a stutter, but I think this can be a big moment for me. And I was sending my application. Mm, and in that time, I was also using uh, I was using visualization, like I was closing my eyes and seeing myself already standing on the stage and doing this big performance and talking with the audience and all that. And then I remember one day they was calling me. They was like, "Hi, is this Nzingaboy?" I was like, "Yeah, it's Nzingaboy." And they told me that they want to have me on this TV show. I was like, "Okay, well, okay, amazing, amazing, amazing." And I remember that day, uh, and I told my friends, my family, that I'm gonna be on this on the talent. Mm, and when it was time for that, they told me that I was gonna come uh, to the place. Uh, so I went there, and I was waiting in the backstage uh, in many hours. I was like, oh, okay, it's not my turn, but soon, but soon. So I was on the backstage having entrevista uh, with the team, Talent TV4. They was asking me questions. How are you, Nzingaboy? I was like, yeah, I'm good, but a little bit nervous, overthinking. Then, then it was time. Then it told me, okay, Nzingaboy, it's your time to stand on the stage. So I remember when I went to, and I remember when I went to this big stage, and the first thing I saw is was my family and friends. They were shouting, "It was Singapore, ah, Singapore!"
That's so cool. That support is so needed, so necessary. That's amazing.
Yeah, yeah. I was standing there, and the audience, it was many people. I think it was around 500 people, I think. Uh, and I can remember that I was standing on the center on the stage, and my family friends over there, the audience, and the light was on me, and then the jury was asking questions um and it was asking like, who are you? And I remember that, okay, I can remember that when it was asking me the question and I was standing on stage, it was quiet. I standing on the center of the stage, had the microphone, and I was talking, I was stuttering, and it was quiet. It was like people was listening, uh, stuttering on the stage, in front of the crowd, in front of the camera also. Yeah, and then yeah, I was talking about uh, growing up with the stuttering, and I also told um like and I remember that I was telling on the stage something like with if stuttering people see him on the stage, I want them to believe in them. I remember that when I was standing on stage, and I told something like, when studying people see me on the stage, I want, wanted to believe in themselves also, or something like that. And then he was like, applause and when I was done with that, I told the backstage team to play my song, and they played my song, and then I was singing and rapping on the stage. People was dancing, people was happy, and people was like, "Wow!" I don't know. Are we are we just living in the moment? Mm, and yeah, and that was a big day for me. Like it, it was a big day for me to making the audition. And also felt good to talk about my stuttering because many people that I grew up with, they didn't know that I had a stutter because 10 of them thought I was shy. Like like I'm because 10 of them thought I was in my mm, comfort zone, shy. Simon doesn't speak so much. He was thinking like that. But after my audition, mm, and also another part, I didn't think about becoming a role model for the stuttering world on my audition. I was like, okay, I'm here to perform a song and stand on stage performing, and I was doing that. And after my audition, it was many people that wrote to me that has a stuttering on Instagram, on Facebook. They were sending email and all of that. I was like, all right, I didn't think so far, but for them, it felt good to see me standing on the stage and talk about stuttering on a big platform. Um, so yeah, it was a big day for me, and still is. And when people see me, sometimes they still talk about my audition, and
That's
it
really
was good.
beautiful. Yeah, that's super cool. I did watch your video, your audition, and indeed it was so nice. And it's so interesting because it feels like two different people when you were talking first, like, you know, people maybe can sense that it's uncomfortable to be talking because maybe there are some challenges in getting the words out. But the moment that you start singing, you on the stage and you're moving like left and right, it's like, okay, like the level of confidence is like a different person just entered the stage. So it's really cool to watch.
Yeah. Yeah, so like I don't know, so music became a way. Because my first I wanted to become a soccer player, like playing soccer, and then yeah, then around 2011, my friends started to do music, and then we made a boy band. Like in that time, I saw the music like, okay, but music is something on the side because I want to be a soccer player. But through the years, performing a lot, making songs, and people was like, yeah, this is good. I was like, okay, yeah, this is good. This is good. So my breakthrough, yeah, it was in 2019. Since, since 2019, I have a lot of performance, releasing new songs, and I had my first performance in Angola. Um, 2 years ago. Yeah, 2 years ago, I had my first performance in Angola and also uma entrevista. Mm, so I was talking with them in English and Portuguese. Mm, so I'll be doing a lot, but I still have many music goals left.
And do you feel that stuttering has influenced your songwriting in any way, like how you write your lyrics, express emotion, or choose what stories to tell?
If I want to say something, it's easier for me to write it down and then code the song. If I want to talk about love, is then for me like it's easier for me to write it down and make a song about it instead of talking about it. So that is a way for me to make a connection with the fans. Uh, and also like yeah, I so first I started to write songs in Swedish many years, and then write a song in Portuguese. I was like, can I? Why not? I think I can do that. So one of my first song in Portuguese, the name of the song is Company, is in Swedish and Portuguese. And I remember that when I was writing the lyrics, I was like, okay, I want to make a song the topic of the song is about love, but the lyrics is gonna be on Swedish and Portuguese. I was like, okay, I was writing it down, writing, and then I remember when I was releasing the song, um, uh, some of my few friends that speak Portuguese, they was like, yeah, he sounds good. Like, continue. I was like, okay, okay, why not? Why not? Why not? So, Company was one of my first song in Portuguese, and then I was doing more songs in Portuguese. Uh, Now my latest song, Energia, is almost in português, depois pouco sueco, mas não muito. And that is the latest song in Portuguese. So some of my friends from Angola, Portugal, Brazil was writing to me. Was like, okay, this is something. This is good. I was like, okay, towel, towel.
That's super cool. Yeah. And yeah, I didn't see the name of the song Energia in
Mm,
Portuguese. I was like, huh. I was like, does he speak Portuguese? Because I was like, I saw the name and but yeah, but this is cool. I mean, it's nice if you can perform in different languages because then you can reach people in other countries as well. And
yeah.
I think that I wanted to ask you, when people who start seeing you see you performing with so much confidence, what do you hope they take away from it?
Uh, yeah. I always tell me like and they see me standing on the stage with confidence. I want them to believe in yourself, like that you can also uh that you can also chase your dreams with confidence. Maybe you're not an artist, but you're a soccer player, or you do something else, but you do it with confidence. Like when you see Singapore standing on the stage with confidence, then you see, okay, you see like, oh, he has a stutter, just like me, but he's standing on the stage with confidence. Then I want, then I want them to be like, okay, I'm maybe I'm maybe I'm not artist, but I do something else, but I'm gonna do with confidence. So I want them to take on this. So I want them um to how can I say this? I want them to mm, learn about confidence, like confidence. Yeah,
Okay,
having
really cool.
confidence. Yeah.
And yeah, and our last question. If you could change one thing about how society understands stuttering, what would that be?
Uh, people that doesn't have a, I feel like people that doesn't have a stuff, people that doesn't have people that doesn't have a stutter should learn to be kind and humble against us that has a stutter because we speak in a different way, but it's okay. Just just like take your time when you speak with us. Mm. So yeah, so the society should be kind and humble against us.
That's perfect. Thank you so much,
Yeah.
Simon.
Thank
It's
you.
been such a pleasure to hear your
Obrigado.
journey, your story. And yeah, thank you so much. I really appreciate, and I'm sure that people will also like watching you talking and sharing about your like the train journey and your musician journey, which is super cool. Thank you so much.
Obrigado. And thank you for this opportunity. I'm happy
Thank,
to speak with you.
thank you so much. Have a good one.
Okay, thank you. Take care.
Take
Ciao,
care.
ciao.
Bye bye. Ciao, ciao.
Ciao.